This might be the most toxic thing that has ever come out of my mouth, but I'm just gonna say it because I know for a fact that there are other women who are sharing this same sentiment as I am. So I'm gonna speak for all of us. My love life is so dry right now. In fact, my love life has been dry since September of 2024. So we're going on a year here. I am actually at a point where I think I'd rather be in a situationship. Yes, I said it. I think I would rather be in a situationship than be this single and bored. That is saying a lot because I feel like I have done all of the healing work that a person can do in their lifetime. I've done all the right things. I have chosen peace first above all else. I've spent time alone. I have learned to enjoy my time alone, and sometimes I enjoy it a little bit too much. But I don't know. At this rate, it's like, if I'm not at least gonna find someone to be in a committed relationship with, at least I can still get something out of a situationship. Like, at least I can still get some excitement over a situationship that isn't gonna last. Because at least when you're in a situationship, you have this idea that, okay, maybe things are gonna go further. You at least can picture a future with someone. You're living in a fantasy world, and I like living in that fantasy world, okay? That is a little bit more exciting than me sitting here and, quite honestly, every day just being like, is this what it's come to? And just questioning, like, will it ever be my turn? Is it ever gonna happen for me? I don't know. I'm just really tired of being in this place where there's like absolutely no one. And I've only been in 2 situationships in my entire life. Like, really, I've only been in 2, and they were the worst time of my life. Like, they ruined me. They made me sick. They made me like get to the worst place I've ever been in my life. But at least when I was in a situationship, I felt like there was hope. I felt like there was at least someone out there that could fulfill something within me. And that something is just that feeling of closeness that you simply cannot get with a platonic friendship or a platonic relationship. So that is where we're currently at. We are at the point where we would honestly prefer a situationship, but a little something that can bring us some excitement, something that we could get for the plot, than just being so single to the point where it like literally seems impossible.
So if you want to know what it's like being a woman working in a blue collar job, my manager just told me to leave the office because a former salesman was stopping by to say hi to people, and he didn't want him to meet me because he'll keep coming back to visit the office because I'm there. So he told me to leave the office. So I'm here at Sonic eating some chili cheese tater tots so that I can avoid a former salesman I've never met before, who apparently doesn't know how to have boundaries when it comes to women. So it's fun. Also, the guys in parts stalked my Instagram.
Mary, come on now, Mary. They stalked my Instagram. Come on now. You don't know why they doing that? Somebody in the comments said, "We see you, champion. You dropped this crown." Come on now, Mary, come on. You don't know why? You have no idea why? All right. You know exactly why them boys are stalking your Instagram. But kudos to you for working out and grinding. That's something to admire. So kudos to that.
You ugly. You niggas is ugly. You niggas is ugly.
Listen to me. We traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. You hear me? It's coming from inside the house.
When women talk about rape, they say it's one of the biggest dangers they face, and they use statistics to paint men as violent and dangerous and predatory. Are they cherry-picking those statistics to demonize men? I think that they are. According to the CDC's Intimate Partner and Violence Survey, in a 12-month period, 1.267 million men and 1.27 million women claimed that they were victims of rape. That number is almost equal. Men and women are experiencing these crimes at equal rates. Here's the part that none of these organizations are saying out loud. Among the men, 69.9% of the perpetrators were female. That's 986,000 women that are committing rape against men. And among the women, 94% of the perpetrators were male, which is 1.194 million men are committing rape against women. Now, here's where their narrative really breaks down. When we add in all of the same-sex perpetrators and the perpetrators where both a man and a woman were involved at the same time, 1.56 million men were perpetrators and 1.02 million women were perpetrators. That means that nearly 40% of the perpetrators of rape in the United States are women. And yet society erases the truth. Men are dismissed as villains and denied the right to be seen as victims, and women are erased as predators and excused from accountability. This problem isn't only about men. This problem is about violence, and women are responsible for 40% of those crimes. So we have to stop demonizing men and start holding women accountable also if we ever want equality, unless women just want to continue to be privileged in the United States.
What the actual is wrong with? Oh my goodness, I can't make this up. Talking to this guy, right? What is wrong? Talking to this guy, okay? We don't know each other. We're getting to know each other, right? We're talking about what we do for work, okay? Oh, I'm a waitress. I'm a cocktail waitress, whatever. He responds and he says, I'm a RN, and puts the 100 sign, the 100 emoji. I think is the reason why. I respond and I say, ha 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 ha, no, for real. He goes, LOL, what do you mean? And I said, you just said you're an RN. I typed out the letter RN. He goes, yeah. Why did I think he was saying real and then the word that only Black people could say? Some people say YN, where it's young, and then the word only Black people could say. I thought he was saying that! What did he say? He's a registered nurse. Never crossed my mind. I fear it did not. It did not. I didn't know how to recover from that. I really did. I didn't know what to say!
Not to sound dramatic or anything, but I'm 25, and I genuinely feel like at this point, I might die alone. Like, every man that I've come across is just so driven by lust. It's the Instagram models, the OnlyFans, the TikTok girls, whatever. And that's just not something I can or want to compete with. And they sit here and complain about how lonely they are, but there's not a time that I'm talking to a man and I don't think to myself, how many other women is he entertaining? How many other women is he telling all this stuff to? And I'm just at the point where I'm just sick and tired and I'm done. Like, I'm literally done. Okay, rant's over. Thank you. Bye.
I don't think men complain about how lonely they are. A lot of times I think they just complain about exerting themselves and not getting the same thing in return.
Suck my. That's how I talk. Suck my.
I understand why you're mad, but
No, shut up.
I didn't do nothing.
Shut up. Back up.
I'm not finna
Back
I'm not
up,
finna
because I will break you up.
I'm not gonna
Back up.
I'm not gonna
You.
fight.
It's not gonna be a fight. I said I'm gonna break you up.
But even if you hit me, I'm not gonna hit you back.
I don't give a. That's why I'm telling you. Back the fuck from me. At the end of the day, trick on these. Yeah. Trick on these until they don't got no more money. I should have left your ass broke.
I ain't gonna lie, my nigga. I'ma say this. Some of you, my nigga, y'all be so masculine and hard body, my nigga. Like, do you even want a nigga? Like a nigga, he not even like in your face, like he trying to like actually have a conversation with you. You all like, suck my, like, shorty. Is this how y'all get down, my nigga? Is this the New York shorty? Is this New York broad? Is this how y'all get down in New York, my nigga? Y'all shorties be so goddamn hard body and masculine for no goddamn reason, my nigga. Aren't you supposed to be a girl? Like, what's going on? And then on top of that, she talk about trick on these and she said she should have left this broken like that. Dog, where did you find this broad, my nigga? You got terrible selection in your females, my nigga. Cause I can spot the toxic meter a mile of fucking way, man. No bull. Get her ass the fuck on. Pack it up, shorty. No bullshit.
And once again, women talk like this to men because there's the expectation that a man won't put hands on them.
Unpopular opinion, but I feel like every man whose love language is physical touch is automatically a whore. I will not be explaining further.
So physical touch is out because it's lustful. Now, a woman in the comments is saying gifts is out because it's giving princess. Another woman is saying active service is out because he wants a second mom. What is that? 3 of them? 4 is words of affirmation because he's a narcissist. That's like 4 out of the 5. So which one is he allowed to have? I see a woman in the comments said the only green flag is quality time and words of affirmation for a guy. Of course it is. These modern women just get dumber and dumber by the day. Quality time, y'all would figure out how to say that's a red flag because he's spending too much time in the house and that means he's not working. Whew.
So last night, apparently, my so-called friends thought it was the best time to tell the guy that I'm interested in that I have a TikTok account. First of all, that's a federal offense, okay? Y'all deserve jail time for that. And I hope you'd sleep with one eye open. Anyways, he was like, oh, you make TikToks? And I was like, sometimes. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna create a burner account so I can watch them. And I was like, no, the hell you're not. And he was like, why not? And I was like, just because. He was like, well, what are your TikToks about? And I said, listen, we are a bunch of man-hating over on this side, okay? So if my friends on here find out that I have feelings, it's going to be very detrimental to the brand, okay? You've been warned. If you've seen this, you've been warned, okay? Say good morning to Moose. We have to go inside.
Okay, so I want to know why guys have such a hard time taking a hint when a girl is not interested in them. Like yesterday, I was running, and I am a runner, so I was straight up out of breath, and I finally get to a stoplight, and I'm standing there like huffing, puffing, waiting to continue going, and this guy walks up to me, and he's wearing a suit. I can kind of tell he's about 10 years older than me, and he's like, what a wonderful day to be running. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm still here like huffing and puffing. And he's like, so do you run often? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, so how old are you? And right away I'm like, dude, like, why do you need to know that? First of all, are you supposed to ask a girl her age? But clearly this guy was interested in me and he was trying to figure out whether I was underage or not. So I didn't want to tell him my age. So I was like, I am too old. And I was like just ready to go from that point. And he's still there next to me and he's like, oh, so, let's get a coffee sometime. And I'm like, I was like, what can I say to get this guy to leave me alone? I'm like, I have to leave. I'm going to be leaving town soon. Like, I'm not going to stay here for a while. And he's like, oh, yeah, me too. Like, I'll leave too. But let's get a coffee anyways. And I'm like, okay. And so then the light finally turns. I start crossing the street. And he's like, oh, so, what's your name? And I don't know how not to be rude, but I'm just like, I tell him my name, but by this point I'm like halfway down the street and he like continues to follow me and he's like, don't you want to know my name? And again, how am I not going to be rude in this situation? I'm like, sure, what's your name? And he tells me my name. And he tells me his name. Oh my God. Okay, so I continue walking. He's still walking with me and he's like, yeah, let's get some coffee. And let me get your number. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I don't really use phones. Like if you want my social media, that's cool. And he's like, no, I want your number. And at this point, I'm just like ready to give up. I'm like, I've given this guy how many excuses? I told him I'm gonna move out of the state. I told him that I don't use like phones, that I only use social media. I've been walking like halfway across the block to get away from him. And look, I don't care if he's like semi good looking. I don't care like if he has like this type of big personality. Like just those things aren't enough. Like if the girl herself is not interested in you, it doesn't matter how good looking you are, what your personality is, like you're gonna feel it because she's not gonna be like pushing you away with her answers. She's gonna, even if she's like shy, there's a difference between somebody that's like consciously giving you excuses one after another. And even if you end up getting the girl's number, like she gave it to you because she was just so freaking tired of you just hounding her. She's not going to pick up your call. She's not going to keep talking to you. So just guys, like, get the hint that the girl's not interested, because just getting her number is not an accomplishment. Sorry.
I'm not 100% sure what the confusion is here. Y'all continue to tell us that y'all are good at communicating, but then you don't communicate. What do I say to him? Oh, no, thank you. I'm not interested. I'm flattered, but, I'm not really interested.
Today's my 8-year anniversary with my fiance.
This is my impression of every man who hates me seeing that video. 8 years, so not married. It's probably why you've been.
Look at this man's hairline and ask me again if this bothered me. Ha 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 ha. No, it's actually more Hardy because she got that gut, so it's more of a single best dude who thinks women can't decide when to get married. Oh, color me shocked. LMAO. At least you left my tag down there. I appreciate you, baby. But since we want to make personal attacks about physical appearance, you talking about some look at my hairline and asking am I bothered? Ma'am, look at me. I could never be bothered about what a woman says about my physical appearance when I'm more handsome than she is pretty. More importantly, I will never be upset about what a woman says about my physical appearance when she got more shoulders than she do hip.
I mean, I don't know, man. 8 years is a long time. I mean, I'm guessing she's super young, so if I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, she was, I don't know, maybe they met in high school and they've been together ever since. And now she's, I don't know how old she is. Maybe she's 25. I hope that's the case.
I'm back with another question. Why aren't men masculine anymore? Men don't want to take out the trash, pay bills. Men don't want to take women out on dates, buy flowers. They don't want to do nothing. Open doors. Like, y'all not doing nothing. Y'all are very feminine.
The bitter single mother household strikes again. And the reason I say that is because listen to what she believes masculinity is. None of the things she mentioned, open up doors, buying flowers, paying for dates, none of those things have to do with masculinity. Masculinity is structure. Masculinity is rules. Masculinity is accountability. Masculinity is peace. You notice those things these women never mention the true essence of masculinity because that's the part they don't like. The part of masculinity that is the most potent, that is the most driven is this type of masculinity. Order, that type of masculinity. They don't want that at all. They see masculinity as things you do for them, which is a warped sense of understanding of masculinity, which is typically grown in a bitter single mother household.
I mean, really think about this. Modern women are so problematic that when a man provides a structure, they break it and they keep on doing whatever they're doing. So even if a man wanted to start doing other things to make your life easier, he can't because he's constantly redoing the things that you broke. What does that have to do with anything? Where a man would take out the trash, where a man would be out pumping your gas and taking care of your car, he now has to go fix another problem because you can't figure out how to stop breaking stuff. Say, for instance, a man might get up. There was a clip that I recently did. Woman was, she rented a car and she was just texting, fool around, ran into something, crashed the car, then tried to lie to the dude about it, even though he had a dash cam. She didn't know that. Her husband is going to have to try to figure out how to pay for that. So that's going to be him having to work more hours. Whereas he might get off, if you hadn't crashed the car being stupid, he might get off work, take a nap, eat, watch TV for a little while, get up, go fill the car, come back. Or he might go get your car washed on Saturday, come back. But instead of being able to do that and have time to do that, now he has to be at work to try to pay for your mistake because you stepped outside of the structure. You get me?
Texting me at 2 a.m. to come over to your house is absolutely disgusting. Like, where's your boundaries? Where's your respect? Where's your house? Like, where should I park? Like honestly, what is your address? Like,
I don't know if anybody was expecting that outcome.
When I text that phone asking for some money, that better be sent. I don't want to hear no wait till tomorrow, wait till next week, none of that. Y'all see how ridiculous that sounds when y'all say that? Like, y'all see how crazy that sounds? Like, oh, like, if I ask a man to help me with something, like, what you mean wait till next week? What you mean wait till tomorrow? Like, girl, you wait 14 days to get paid. You wait 7 days to get paid. And you expect that man to just send it at the drop of a dime? I sometimes think that women have unrealistic expectations of men. Now, don't get me wrong. I have dealt with some men who were like that. Like, if I needed money instantly, it was no problem. Like, whatever, right? So there are men like that. But you guys also have to understand, that's not the case for everybody. But to sit here and to shame a man for it is absolutely ridiculous when you can't even do it yourself.
This is a good example of why I would not approach or pursue a man. My guy friend just told me about this date that he went on last week. He initiated conversation with her first, but he did not ask for her number, and then she came back around to him later in the night and came up to him and asked for his number. He was interested, so he gave his number. They started texting to set up a date. She lives almost 2 hours from him, and he was not able to drive down to her that week, so she drove 2 hours to go on a date with him. I would never ever do that. The man should be the one making the effort and coming to you, especially for the first date. No shade to my guy friend. Men just don't consciously think about it like this. During the first date and by the end of the date, he already knew that he was not feeling it. He'd rather just be friendly with her rather than anything romantic. So yeah, a man's level of interest is always shown in his effort and his actions. It's not like he wasn't interested in going on a date, but if he was really interested in her, he would have asked for her number. He would have driven to see her. You know what I'm saying? Like, their interest is always reflected in their effort.
Just think if two people like each other, it doesn't really matter who approaches first.
But it has clauses in there too. A lot of them will have clauses like, if I'm signing this prenup, but if you cheat on me, then I will get to that.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
so
again, it's mutual. So yeah, if I step out, that's what we agreed to. So
I wouldn't agree to that.
I mean,
you wouldn't agree to that?
Hell no.
If you stepped out, she couldn't get.
But if she was adamant on it, like that's something important to her, you wouldn't.
Then that right there would be the end of us.
Why though?
Uh-oh.
Because if I got to give you half my money just because I stepped out, first and foremost, when I met you, you was part of a rotation. Again, we talking about. Hey, you see what? We going. and I tell you,
we going.
I was gonna rattle them today. But which is why I said when you meet the woman is very important, right? If I'm in the league already and then I meet you, you understand the fact that you was part of a rotation. Like that's what you came into. You understand the fact that the likelihood of me being faithful in this situation it's not that high, right? So why would I put that if I cheat, you get half of my stuff? No.
Could I say one more thing to you?
What?
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your...
I don't think these women truly understand with this type of attitude, their luck is going to run out.
For the women saying that it's not that deep to call somebody else's husband for a favor, it actually is that deep. And although you might have pure intentions when you reach out to the husband, I didn't say that just to say like, oh, well, you trying to sleep with somebody's husband, you trying to take somebody's husband. No, it's a respect thing. That's her husband, not yours. You get your own husband. You find your own man to take care of you and do the duties for you. It's very disrespectful to go around the union, them together, and ask the man. Very disrespectful. I think people forget the nature of life. Man and woman coming together. For me personally, I just would never put myself in a situation to have a conversation with a married man alone. Asking a married man for anything, period. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just morally speaking. And I'm not even married yet. That's the crazy thing. But I respect other women in their marriages. I respect other women with their boyfriends, you know? You just shouldn't be in nobody man's face. And like I said, although you may have pure intentions, think about how that woman feel. I know for a fact, me personally, my boyfriend, don't ask my man for I don't give a who you are. Don't text him. You wonder why he's saying no? Because of me? Just morally speaking. And then what make it worse is when you go around the wife to her husband. People like that deserve to get punched in their flat out. But I see that the world we live in, some women just fail to have a moral compass or integrity. Just out here doing whatever and not really using their mind or having respect for other people. But that's cool, because when you get you a man and you get you somebody gonna be right up in their face. And I want to see how you feel about it. I want to see how you feel when people keep calling your man for money, your man for favors, knocking on your door to cut Greg. Get the fuck out of here. Get you a man like I got me one. And just to add another piece, not only do these women lack a moral compass, but they also just simply don't value marriage. I'm not even married yet, and I have that respect. I value unity. I value that. When two people come together, it's no longer an individual that you're going to. That's somebody's husband. And the fact that y'all trying to negate it is crazy to me. It's crazy. I respect a woman I don't with. If I with your husband, if he married, I'm gonna respect you. We gotta be cool.
It's really you just looking around at everybody else stuff, not being grateful for what you got, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, let me ask both of y'all a question.
Okay.
And I want all the listeners to listen and play along in your head. Leah, if you were stranded on an island, and for all intents and purposes, this island, you're going to die on this island. You won't get off this island. So keep that in mind when I ask this question. You're going to die here on this island. But you can take 5 things with you. Any 5 things you want, because you ain't never coming off this island, you would die there. What 5 things would you take?
I would probably bring, like, my people, my family.
Yeah.
Okay, I still have 4. I would bring a ton of books.
Books?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I'm gonna
Definitely gotta have
books
or a tablet or something.
Yeah,
All right.
I feel like I would bring a phone because even at some point when it does die, if somebody finds it, it's like a little capsule and they'll charge it and they'll see
Okay.
all the photos and memories that was created on that island.
All right. You got 2 more.
Maybe I would bring like gas and
So you're going to put gas, electricity there, your family there, some books there, and a cell phone.
And then the last thing, of course, like materials to build something we're all gonna sleep in.
So housing.
Yeah.
So her 5 things is housing, family, books, a cell phone, and food and electricity.
Okay.
Here's the point what I want y'all to understand out there. For anybody feeling trepidatious about where they at in life and like they don't have enough, not doing enough. I just told Leah she can bring any 5 things she want to this island. And did y'all notice not one time did she say money?
Right.
Pause. Not one time did she say money. And I said anything. She didn't say a G-Wagon. She didn't say a mansion. She said her family, her books, electricity, food, and housing. Those are all the things you have now. You're going to die here. You're going to die on Earth. You already won.
I didn't
You
say
just-
money because I'm not taking that with me.
Listen, exactly. Because when I posed the question that way, you have to think about what truly mattered. You have to get to what truly mattered. So any day you wake up depressed, remember you have all the things that really matter. That's a psychological test I took you through. So you have to find out what really matters. And everything you named is everything you already got. You wake up a winner. So any other energy besides that winning energy you wake up with, you doing yourself a disservice. Worrying is like praying to the devil. You have everything. I said you gonna die on that island, but you could take anything. You said friends and family, your cell phone, some electricity and food, and books. You have that. You already won. You're gonna die here. You know money and G-Wagons and purses, and this is for everybody out there too. You know all those things aren't important. You wanna know how I know you know? Because when I told you you can take anything, you didn't even think about none of that. You got to the nitty-gritty of what life is about and how it's supposed to be experienced. You have your friends and your family. You have food. You nourish yourself. You look thick on the thighs right now. So I know you're nourishing yourself really good. You have a cell phone because you picked it up 30 times while we were talking, doing this podcast. You have everything. When I say I wake up every morning the same way I went to sleep, blessed and grateful, that's what I mean. And I want everybody out there listening to inherit this same attitude and subscribe to this same frequency because you know you won. Literally, you have to think about only what mattered. And I said 5 things. She never said money. She could have said, I want to, because it don't matter. On the intrinsic level, we forget it don't matter. We let the internet trick us into thinking it matters. We let TV trick us into thinking it matters. We let commercials trick us to thinking it matters. We let advertisement have us doing things we don't want to do, to buy things we don't need, to impress people we don't like. Let's stop that.
my standards are high because I can reciprocate anything I ask for. So if you think I'm asking for too much, you might just not be enough.
I completely agree with this video. I think a lot of people misrepresent my points when I make my videos, and this pretty much summarizes exactly my point. Too many people come on this app accusing men of doing bare minimum things, but they can't reciprocate a single thing that you're asking. If you want your partner to be somebody who is constantly showering you with compliments, texting you first, doing things to show that he cares about you, I would assume and hope that you can do the same thing for your partner. What a lot of guys' complaints are, and a lot of my videos are, is women who are sitting there accusing men of doing bare minimum stuff, and then if you ask them to like text first, they're like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Or that one viral video that like went viral a long time ago of a girl being like, he said he held the door for you. That's the bare minimum. My friend does that. Did he pay for your meal? My dad does that. And it's like, well, do you do any of those things? Because if I asked you to do that, you'd probably freak out. So my rule of thumb, like when a guy's wondering if he's kind of getting like used and just abused in a relationship, is genuinely ask yourself, if I asked this girl to do just 2% of what I'm doing right now, what would her reaction be? If she starts freaking out and saying things like, well, you're the guy, you're supposed to do this, your call, buddy. But I'd rather just be single for a while and find somebody who actually would be willing to put some effort in. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
Okay, then go out there and mow that lawn. Go out there and change that oil. Go out there and fix that tire. If you're gonna reciprocate. If you're gonna bring it back. If you're gonna be doing the same thing. A woman in the comments says I'm a lesbian. And I've had this issue, especially if the woman is bi or has only dated men prior. I'm like, I'm not your boyfriend. Act accordingly. Now, I'm dating someone who matches my effort. Exactly.
Woman can tell you what a real man is. That is a problem. Because usually when she say what a real man is, it's always somebody that accepts her and won't question her. It's always a real man for that one. A real man will get with a woman who has kids. Haven't y'all heard that? How many of y'all black men heard that? A real man will be with a woman that's got kids. Who says that? A with kids?
I said the same thing,
What comes next? A real man should get with somebody got A. If you're real, it's really stupid. But you'll hear black women talk like this, and they'll be real confident being in public, being real ignorant. Why would you want to know how many people I've slept with? Well, I want to know if I'm throwing my hot dog down a hallway. Why wouldn't I want to know how many people have jumped on you and treated you like a human trampoline? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why do you care if you like me? I don't know you. You know why we on this first date, lady? Because you had a fat ass and titties, and I said, let me get your number. I didn't know a damn thing about you, didn't know your last name, probably didn't remember it unless I put it in my damn phone. And usually, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, when I put your name in my phone, it's Big Booty Betty I met at the Publix. That's how I labeled your ass. So for you to sit there and tell that motherfucking lie that I'm supposed to be trying to get to know anything else, no, I need to know if I'm serious about Big Booty Betty, how many other Big Booty Betty? Because when I met this in Publix, I know 39 in aisle 7 was trying to get her number 2. So I want to know how many she let hit. So therefore, I could either be the hit or I could be the take you on a real date. Because I ain't taking your motherfucking ass to chops when every other nigga done chopped that. So it's a good question for me to ask.
Hot dog down what?
Right, it's a hot dog down the hallway, just like there's some women in them. Can't do no damage. She don't even know when you started.
She hear everything he's saying right now. She's just talking to somebody else. She has an earphone in. She can try to ignore all this that's happening. Times when yours are going on like a crazed rant, but he's correct, but he's going on a crazed rant. All she can do is pretend like she's talking to that person and not hear them.
It's that boxing coaches tell you. So if they hit you, don't grimace. Don't make them think you ain't do nothing.
Okay. Do they actually say that?
Yeah, because you don't want him to think that it affected you, because it'll boost his morale. So if he feel like he giving you hits and nothing happening, it could affect what he thinks he can do, and he'll start changing up his plan if he ain't getting nothing done.
That's just random information that I didn't know.
When you're finished. Anyway, you sit up here saying these things, it makes no damn sense. You know who making these arguments is out here trying to make arguments and tell the shift they thinking. You shouldn't care about this. If I don't, when I buy a car, I want the Carfax report. When I get up
I want the cat facts report. Let me see the cat facts. I want to know who been in this. Why? Because I'm about to go in it. And what they want men to do is not respect themselves and their bodies. That's why if a woman asks you to put a condom on and you be like, I don't know about this, she gonna look at you like something.
If you got paid $100,000 per back shot,
you would have to peel me off that. Might have a sore asshole for a little while, but I don't give a everything. That's how I'm gonna be pulling up to the function.
He said,
what's the difference between being masculine and just acting like an adult?
I don't think there is a difference. I think an adult, if we're going to say, taking care of your bills, taking care of your responsibilities is masculine, then everybody should be masculine.
That's pretty much the same thing. Being an adult and the responsibilities of being masculine are almost the same. I think the difference is, that's a tricky one, man. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So what's the difference between being feminine and acting like a child?
Well, I think, that's good. So I think being feminine and acting like a child, femininity to me is just being like, soft, not soft. Yeah, I guess soft. You're not supposed to act like a 5-year-old. That's not femininity to me. It's just having class and grace and elegance and being a lady to me.
Because a true feminine woman isn't childish. You know what I'm saying? And that's a major thing to realize, is that a real woman that's in her feminine energy isn't exactly childish. She's more motherly than childish.
well, when you have masculinity, it goes beyond acting like an adult. As a man, you're expected, and most of people, not even women, most people in society expect you to go beyond your responsibilities and actually be a leader. They expect you to, what we always talk about, they expect you to hunt, do anything by any means necessary to get the job done within, well, some women, they expect you to commit crimes. But for the most part, for people that aren't weird, they expect you to be at the forefront. They expect you to risk it all. They expect you to sacrifice. That's what masculinity is. And that's the difference between being masculine and being an adult, right? And so it's just, I went to work, I paid the bills, and I came home and I relaxed. Women don't like that. They want you to give your all to them. They want you to be obsessed with them. They want you to dote on them and do all these things. They want you to basically go above and beyond, whereas they have the option to do whatever they want to do. And they confuse that with femininity. And so they're saying, I'm in my soft girl era. I'm receiving. I'm a reciprocator. You're the initiator. That's the masculine trait. You should be doing that. So when they talk about femininity and how is it like being a child, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Like the dude said, it should be more motherly. It should be more nurturing. You shouldn't be like, oh man, I really don't want to, I'm in my feminine, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay around the house all day and sip tea and watch TV. You shouldn't be doing that. Femininity should be, okay, I'm being an adult. And my responsibility as a feminine woman is to nurture everything that you have around here, to help it to grow. Does that mean that you don't have a job? No, it doesn't. You can nurture something anywhere. Mother Teresa, she decided to do it in a church, right? You had Harriet Tubman. She decided, this is how I'm going to lead people. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to nurture people. You have a lot of women in high positions that put their own spin on the position, right? We have studies and statistics that talk about how women lead versus how men lead. That's a differentiator right there, because that's how they naturally are, right? So men are just asking you to be men. Just how I need a man to put me in my feminine. No, we're not even talking about being soft. We're just talking about having those qualities of a woman that wants to take care of me, that wants to look after me like you want me to look after you. That's literally all men be asking.
If I ever go out with a man and he does not pay for my friend, I will never speak to that man again.
Part 457 of women that got their priorities up. Viewer discretion is advised.
There was this one time, this guy that liked me invited me out with all of his friends. And I was like, okay, well, I'm with my friend. He's like, great, bring her. We all eat, we laugh, everybody orders, it's fine. My friend had to leave early because she had something to do. That was the original plan.
Something about the way she says that tells me that her friend didn't really have to leave early. I feel like it was a setup, but let's continue.
So when she left and the bill came, his guy friends were like, your friend just ditches and leaves on the bill? I was like, there's like 7 guys here.
What does 7 guys have to do with your friend paying her part of the bill? I'm having a really difficult time understanding why someone would go out and just assume that just because there are men in the environment that their bill is paid for. Last time I checked, she wasn't dating any of those men. Why should those men be obligated to pay her part of the bill? I don't understand. Why does the man that you were talking to have to be obligated to pay her part of the bill? Like, does she not have money? Why did she come out?
All got a prefix menu and unlimited drinks. The total was less than $100. Not that even the total mattered.
If the total didn't matter, why did you bother bringing it up? You tried to use it as a point of reference to show how broke or cheap these men could possibly be because it was less than $100. No, you used it as a point of reference. We saw what the just did.
I felt so uncomfortable. I looked at the guy that invited me and I was like, hey, look, it's fine. I'll pay for it. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. He's like, my friends, they don't know any better. But in my head, I got the ick.
Wait, so this video is not even about the man that invited you out. It's about his friends? So his friends are supposed to have the same standard that he has? What the is going on? I am genuinely curious, where do y'all find this level of entitlement? Why does his friends have to live up to the same standard as him? That's his friends. They're not dating you. They could be whoever they want to be.
Because you invited me and my friend, and your friends made that kind of remark. No, you didn't say it, but your friends did. And that's just an energy I cannot get behind. If you cannot pay for my friend too, I don't feel comfortable dating you.
What the is she talking about? He told you he would pay for it. His friends did not want to pay the bill, but he said he would. He didn't have an issue with it. He invited the 2 of y'all out. She left. He agreed to pay the tab for the both of y'all. What the is the issue? So what? His friends didn't want to pay your friend's tab. They don't have to. Yo, y'all losing it.
It's a gentleman thing to do. If you can't do it, it's okay. Just don't say yes to my friend coming. Because splitting the bill and things like that, no thank you.
You know what really should have gave this woman the ick? The fact that her friend walked out the house broke. What should really give you the ick is that you're friends with a broke person that likes to freeload off of other people. Men in particular. What's really going to give you the ick is when you watch this video back and you realize how stupid you sound. Maybe you won't make these type of videos anymore. I will tell you no lie, I am all out of answers for these type of women. It's just, there's literally no saving them. I don't know what type of freeloaders y'all on, but it don't work that way. But of course, like any other video, you ain't got to listen to me. I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep it change.